Hi guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Maggie and I'm glad to have you here. If you guys aren't already, please subscribe and turn on the little bell. As you guys can see from the title of this video, I'm going to basically talk about my whole South Korea trip. I'm going to talk to you guys about my experience going to South Korea all by myself. I'm going to talk to you guys about some tips that I would have wished someone would have given to me before traveling abroad by myself. That's basically what I'm going to talk to you guys about. I'm going to kind of insert some little memories, some videos, some pictures that I have of my trip, and I'm just going to talk to you guys about basically everything. I was going to do this video in Spanish, but guys, let me tell you, my Spanish, I speak decent Spanish, but while I was doing this video, it was giving me so much anxiety. I was recording and I was talking and it was good, but then I was like, no, I was just being awkward. Let's just leave it at that. Obviously, si se me salen algunas cositas en español, voy a hablar en español también, pero casi todo el video va a ser en inglés. I'm gonna like show you guys some little clips of me trying to do this video in Spanish and it just not working out. I was literally going to rip all my freaking hair off. Hola, bienvenidos de Coca-Cola del Sur. Azul. This is bad. Anyways, the first topic that I'm going to get into is, so let's rewind back to 2017. So back in 2017, my little niece, she was the one that introduced me to South Korea. I remember her telling me to watch some K-dramas, and I was like,
K-dramas? What the fuck is that?
So that's basically where it all started, where my love for Korea started, where my love for Asia started. Basically, it all started with Korean dramas. That's what K-dramas are. So I had no idea what K-dramas were. I had no idea. This is going to sound crazy, but I had no idea what even Korea was. I had never heard of Korea. I didn't know the difference between China, Japan, Thailand, Cambodia, Korea. My love for Korea, it went way overboard, and obviously if it got me to travel to Korea at 19 years old, of course I was in love. So I got my best friend Amparo into them, and I remember I had told my best friend Juliana and Amparo to watch a certain drama. I don't remember which one specifically I was watching, but I told them, I was like, you guys need to watch them. We were all in college. The only one that was interested in the K-dramas was Amparo. We were both so obsessed with K-dramas, and I remember just telling her one day we should go to Korea together.
So we were like, oh, we should go to Korea, you know, like to visit. And I was like, dude, we should, like next year. And she was like, no, this year. So we are going to spend my birthday over there. That's so mind-blowing to me. Like, I'm just like, is it real?
I'm going to Korea. Obviously, as you guys know, once I started watching the K-dramas, I became so obsessed, and I started watching YouTube videos of just Korea in general. I started watching vlogs of people that would go to Korea, and that just, it would even keep me more captivated and more amazed about the culture. I'm not going to say I was 100% familiar with the culture, because it's a never-ending type of thing that it's just like a, you're always going to find out something new about someone's culture every single day, you know? So I feel like I was a little familiar with it. I'm not going to say I was 100% familiar with it, but I was trying my best, and up to this day I'm still trying to just learn more things about the Korean culture. Before I ever went to Korea, I did want to actually learn to speak Korean. Did it happen? No, it didn't. All I knew what to say was hello, thank you, and a few other words that I just completely forgot already. Something that is very helpful to know is that whenever you greet someone, or just in general say hello or thank you, just to be polite, you have to bow your head and say thank you or say hello, bowing out of respect. So what I would do is whenever I would go like to a store, or whenever I would be purchasing something, I would just kind of like say 감사합니다 and kind of like bow my head, 감사합니다. That's oh my god, I sound so cringy. So basically whenever I would go to like a 7-Eleven or just a store in general and purchase something, and they would give me like my money back, you always have to take it with 2 hands. Whenever you hand your card, like if you're gonna pay with a debit card, don't just hand it to them like that, because that is so disrespectful. In Korea, you have to, well, I honestly did that even in Asia. Like I always handed like my card with 2 hands. So I actually met one of my dearest friends that lives, well, she used to live in Korea because she was going to university in South Korea. I did not know her before I set foot in Korea. I actually met her for the first time ever when I landed in Korea. So her name is Kaelyn, and I met her through Instagram. I remember one day, I don't think I ever told her this story, but I remember one day I was just scrolling through Instagram and putting the hashtag Korea, and I was just scrolling and scrolling, and then I seen a group of girls and it looked like it was in Korea. I clicked on the profile, and the profile of the girl was Kaelyn's, and I remember just like stalking her Instagram, me being a freaking creep. And then I followed her, and that's basically where my friendship with her started. I don't think I mentioned this, but she's actually from Venezuela. So I added Kaelyn and Emma, which I still talk to them up to this day. So yesterday I was scrolling through my Snap, and I kind of wanted to like go back to the first message I had sent her, and I just basically sent her a message, and I was like, quiero ir a Corea, and she had messaged me back, and she's like, you should come, or something like that. I remember at that time, it was when me and my best friend, we were already kind of like planning it, kind of like talking about it, about wanting to go and what we should do and if we should go. So that's basically how I met Kaelyn, and that's how we started talking. So like I said, the planning was already initially started. I don't have like a specific day, but I do know it was, I believe, around March. So yeah, like in the beginnings of March. And on April 3rd of 2017, that's when I actually booked our flight to South Korea. So on April 3rd of 2017, that's when I booked our flight, and that's when it actually became official. At the time, I was actually working at a restaurant. Yeah, that's kind of where I accumulated most of my money. All of my money, actually. Bring an adapter. So let me show you guys. I got this one off of Amazon. This one I got it for when I went to Thailand, but I didn't have this one when I went to Korea. I was not prepared, and I had to purchase one when I got to Korea. It shows you Europe, UK, Australia, and the US. This is Europe, which is also, this one is the one that they use in Korea. So whenever you're done using it, you just kind of press this little button right here on the side, and then it goes in. That's how the UK one looks. This is the Australia one. They're kind of like slanted this way. You basically just plug in whatever you're going to use, your charger in here, and then you can also plug in your phones as well right here. So this is very, very useful. Take cash. That is a must. So what I did is I obviously took some cash with me. What I did to exchange my money was I actually exchanged just a little bit at the airport, and then I also went to a little place in Korea that it's called Myeongdong, and that's where I also exchanged some of my money. Get the Wi-Fi egg. You guys need the little Wi-Fi egg. It's so convenient. I got the little Wi-Fi egg. I had no idea that I could have gotten like a little SIM card. Like the SIM card is a lot more convenient because you don't have to be carrying it, but I had no idea that the SIM cards existed. So I actually just got the little Wi-Fi egg, and it was just so very, very, very convenient. I believe it was like $50 around there. I would say use the subway train. It is so easy. In the beginning it's difficult to understand and kind of like get your way through it, but it's so convenient, it's so easy, it's so cheap, so affordable. And I feel like in the subway I met a lot of very, very, very amazing humans. Todavía me acuerdo una vez, se me hace que era la primera vez que me subí al tren, y estaba bien perdida. Like, no sabía por dónde ir. I had no idea what route to take or what way to go, or if I was going the wrong way, where was I gonna end up. And I was just like, it was going all over my head. And I remember kind of like being so scared. And this Korean girl, she kind of like walked up to me, and I was just like looking back and forth, and she was like, are you lost? And I just told her yes, that I was lost and I had no idea where I was going. I had a little screenshot of the address that I was going to, but I had no idea what train to get. And I remember her telling me the exact way. She was literally such a sweetheart. She walked with me throughout the whole way. Every time you go on a subway, you have to kind of like scan your card and kind of takes out money, and she was literally walking towards every line that I was gonna go to, and she was just like scanning. And I remember her going back. She wasted money just to kind of like lead me through the right way. I actually flew out from San Francisco, so I drove from Madeira to San Francisco. And well, actually I didn't drive myself there. My best friend drove me over there with her boyfriend. So let me first tell you guys what my parents thought about my Korea trip. When I first told my mom I was going, she was kind of in denial about it. Like, she kind of didn't really believe me that I was actually gonna go. I remember telling my dad about it, and he was like, no you're not. And I was like, yeah I am. My daddy was all like, I'm gonna go with you guys to be security. I could know, he's all laughing. And they were kind of like in denial about it. They were
like, she is not going to Korea.
Especially because around that time was when the whole North Korea, South Korea, North Korea, US, the bombing, you guys might remember that. It was when all of that was happening. So my brothers, they were against it as well. They didn't want me to go because they knew my mom was just going to be worried throughout the whole trip. And yeah, that was like basically their main concern. So the day that I was actually going to leave, I remember my best friend coming to pick me up, and it was like early in the morning. I remember before she came to pick me up, I was like getting everything ready the night before that, and I remember my mom just being like super sad. The morning of, I remember going to her room, and I remember her crying, and that like really hurt me. And I remember telling myself, I can't leave her like this, I'm not gonna go. And I remember just crying. My best friend gets there, and as I was telling her, like, I don't want to go, I'm not gonna go, and she pulls me out the door and she's like, you're gonna go, your mom's gonna be okay, you're gonna be okay, everything's gonna be fine, you're gonna call her, like basically, you know, just reassuring me that everything was going to be okay. And I 100% thank her for actually doing that, because if it wasn't for that and her kind of pushing me out, I remember crying from all the way from Madeira to San Francisco. I was crying, like, I'm not kidding you. And I remember texting my sister and I was like asking her, is my mom okay? And she was like, no, she's okay now. And that just made me feel a lot better, just knowing that she was okay as well. These are some of the questions that I got off of Instagram. So what is your dream career? So I chose this one specifically to be my first one that I answer, because it kind of brings up back in 2017 when I first found out about South Korea. I was kind of like searching up what I can do to be able to work over there or just live over there. Well, one of the main options is to just go and teach English in Korea. That is for sure one of my dreams, to be able to teach English to kids in a whole different country, kind of like them learning something about me and me learning something about them or their culture or their country. No, I was not scared to travel alone. I don't think I got into why my best friend didn't go with me. So she had a few issues. It just made it impossible for her to go. But to answer the question, no, I was not. Especially knowing that Korea is one of the safest places to travel to in the world.
Chicos, no se preocupen, aquí en Corea no va a pasar absolutamente nada. De hecho, es uno de los países más seguros en el mundo y ustedes pueden salir con tranquilidad, digamos 2, 3 de la mañana, llegar a sus casas a esa hora y chicos, no va a pasar absolutamente nada. La probabilidad que pase algo es casi del 1% o el 2%, o sea, es un país muy seguro.
I feel like I would have probably had twice the fun if my best friend would have gone with me. I had a lot of fun. So I think traveling alone, it's very scary because you just don't know what can happen, but it's also kind of like an eye-opening experience. You get to know a lot more about yourself that you didn't know. You get to experience a whole new world and kind of like just you yourself. You don't have people telling you, oh, let's go here or let's go there or let's eat here, let's eat there. You know what I mean? Like you're just all on your own. You're gonna go with your first instinct just because you're alone. My best friend asked me that. It's probably not that crazy to you guys, but for me it kind of is. One crazy thing I did was I remember it was 4 in the morning over there. It was like 4:03ish, I'm not sure, and I got really hungry. I woke up and I was like hungry. I was so hungry and thirsty, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna call my best friend. And I called her on FaceTime and I was like, dude, I'm so hungry, what do I do? Should I go and buy something or should I just stay in inside and just go back to bed? And she was like, dude, just go to the store. And I was like, you know what, yes, I'm gonna go to the store. Korea is one of the safest places in the world. It's a known fact that Korea is one of the safest places to travel to. I posted this on my Instagram and I remember I was like, what the heck, like it's freaking 4 in the morning, it's that early and I'm in the streets. And I remember I was on FaceTime with her, and here it was around like 2 p.m 3 p.m, I'm not sure. It was like in the afternoon here, and yeah, I just thought that was like a crazy thing. Obviously I have a lot more crazy stories with Kaelyn and Emma, but honestly some of the things, it was just kind of like in the moment. Kaelyn was like, you know what, we should go to this palace. We went to the palace, which I'm gonna leave some pictures right here. It was such a beautiful palace, so beautiful, very colorful. I wish I would have googled more cafes because Korea is known for their cafes. there's a bunch of cute Korean cafes, and I wish I would have gone to many more. I remember going to the raccoon cafe, and there was a bunch of little raccoons and a bunch of little puppies. It was just so cute. So yeah, I also used TripAdvisor. I don't think I ever had like much of a problem with them actually like not being able to understand me, besides sometimes in the subway whenever I would ask someone, they would just be like, that was a little hard. But other than that, I feel like it wasn't as hard for me. I feel like a lot of Koreans, they actually knew English. I was on the plane for 18 full hours. I remember I only got up to go to the restroom only once during those 18 hours. So I was basically just sitting down for 18 hours. That's crazy. So what distracted me was I was just so excited. I was so excited to the point where it literally felt like the flight was only like 5 hours long. It was such a smooth plane ride. I felt no turbulence. I don't remember experiencing any turbulence, but in other plane rides, what I do to kind of distract me is either I watch a movie, or I put on my headphones and I just blast my music like really loud, and that kind of helps me kind of get distracted and not really pay attention to like the turbulence or just anything in general around me in the airplane. So this was another question. It was from someone that had gone to Sweden. So basically they put, my flight to Sweden was 12 hours, but took me 16 to finally be done with planes. How long was yours? Was the views out of the plane pretty? Were the people nice and talkative? So okay, let's answer the first one. How long was your flight? Mine was 18 hours, like I said, and mine was like one way. It was like straight to Korea, so from San Francisco all the way to Seoul. Was the views out of the plane pretty? I'm very thankful that when my plane took off from San Francisco to Korea, the sun was out, so I was able to kind of just like look through the window, and I had a window seat. So yeah, all I saw was just like clouds. It was cute. Were the people nice and talkative? I met a few Koreans there, and they were very sweet. The people that I met in the subway, they were absolutely angels. It wasn't a package deal. I actually just booked it online, and it was just my flight. It was a round trip. It was about 1,100. So it was kind of pricey if you think about it, but it's so worth it. And I would honestly pay that 10 more times. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you guys like this video. If you are not already, please subscribe to my channel. It really does mean a lot to me. Turn on the post notification bell on, just so you guys can get notified whenever I do post a new video. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys are having a good week and are staying safe at home. Until next time.